paragraph, could you please read the next paragraph? The longest surah in the Noble Quran.
The longest surah in the Noble Quran is Surah Al-Baqarah with 286 ayat and it appears the longest ayat. The shortest surah is Surah Al-Kawthar with only 3 short ayat. A total of 92 surahs were revealed in Mecca before Muhammad migrated to Medina, beginning of the Hejrat calendar. And the other 22 surahs were revealed in Medina.
So, when you see this, inshallah, I will give you some more details about this chart that you have in your sheet. I have more explanation about this. But about Makki and Madani, when we talk about Makki and Madani, Makki and Madani. Somebody says Makki is the surah or the chapter or the ayah which was revealed in Mecca, and Madani that was revealed in Medina. But it is not exactly the reality of Makki and Madani. The best explanation of Makki and Madani is to say that when Rasulullah was 13 years in Mecca and 10 years in Medina. So after prophethood, after receiving revelation, which was happened when Rasulullah was 40 years old. So he was in Mecca. And for 13 years in Mecca, he received Quran. He received chapters, surah, through 13 years. But it was not necessarily inside the city of Mecca, because sometimes he used to go to Ta'if or to some other tribes or some other places, and over there Jibreel come to him and bring him some surah. So when we say Makki, we means that whatever revealed before Hijrah, whatever revealed before Hijrah is Makki. And whatever revealed after Hijrah, so Hijrah is a border of Makki and Madani. Whatever revealed before Hijrah is Makki. Whatever revealed after Hijrah is Madani. For example, in the year of 8 of the Hijrah or 9, when Rasulullah came from Medina to Mecca for Hajj or for victory of Fathul Mecca, for example, and he received some ayah and some surah in Mecca. But we don't call this surah Makki. We call this Madani. Why? Because it was revealed after Hijrah. So whatever was revealed before Hijrah, we call Makki. And whatever revealed after Hijrah, we call Madani. Next paragraph, please, Muhammad. The first surah of the glorious Quran.
The first surah of the glorious Quran is Tafsir, the opening. Each surah is named after some striking incident or purpose, or after a keyword in that purpose. To emphasize the deserving importance of the entire being and the environment in which the human being lives, Almighty Allah has granted many environmental names to the surahs of the Holy Quran, such as the night, the day, the fire, the honeybee, the dawn, the time, the sun, the moon, etc. All the surahs of the Holy Quran began with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, to keep reminding us of His endless mercy and His all-encompassing compassion, except for Surah Al-Tawbah, meaning repentance. This may indicate the degree of God's anger with those who insist on disobeying Him. In contrast, this key word for the grace, blessing, and mercy of Allah has been effectively used twice in the opening surah.
Yeah, I think it's clear. And if somebody asks you, what is the reason of the names of the Quran, depends. Some names of the Quran, first of all, everybody should know that these names for the surah, Surah Al-Baqarah, whatever, was decided and was, for example, registered or some other things at the time of Rasulullah, not after him. there's a misunderstanding, or some Orientalists or some historians say, okay, after Prophet, they decide to put some names, or they divided chapters, or they ordered. No, this is wrong. In the time of Rasulullah, all these orders of the surah and the names, naming the surah, all these happened in the time of Rasulullah. And also about the situation of ayat, situation of verses. Even the verse Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim happened in the time of Rasulullah. So you see 113 surah that begins with Bismillah, but one surah, which is Surah Tawbah, there is no Bismillah in the very beginning. But still we have 114 Bismillah in the Holy Quran. Why? Because in the Surah An-Naml, Surah An-Naml, we have two Bismillah. One Bismillah in the very beginning, and one Bismillah in the middle of the Surah. When the letter goes from Sulaiman to the king of the queen of the Saba of Yemen, he wrote Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we have two Bismillah in this chapter. Yes?
Professor, I wanted to know, what about the surahs that have two different names, like Surah Ikhlas and Surah Tawheed? They're the same surah, but...
Good question. As you know, some surahs, some chapters have more than one name. For example, Surah Al-Tawheed, Surah Al-Fatiha has 7 names. Somebody says 10 names. Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Hamd, Surah Al-Sab' al-Masani, and so on. So there are different names. It depends. Sometimes because different, you know, there was a name, there was initial name in the very beginning. But after a while, that chapter became famous and well known by another name. For example, Surah Al-Insan. Surah Al-Insan, maybe the name was Surah Al-Insan. But after a while, because the first ayah talks about Dahr, and Dahr is mentioned in the very beginning of this surah. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. So everybody says, okay, Surah Al-Dahr, which means that the surah which begins with Ad-Dahr. So it is more than one name, or 2 names, or 3 names, so on so. So it depends. Sometimes, or sometimes in one surah there are different occasions, different events are mentioned. And it was known by Muslimin by different names and by different occasions. So we have some surah that they have more than one name. Yes?
Okay, so you said 92 surahs were revealed in Mecca. Was the entire surah revealed? Or just
Very good question. No, it is not. When we say, for example, 90 or so surah was revealed in Mecca, we have some surah, for example, 2/3 of the surah was revealed in Mecca, 1/3 was revealed in Medina. We have some chapters that the whole chapter was revealed in Mecca, but 2 or 3 ayah was revealed in Medina. So when you go to some tafsirs, not all of them, some of them mention these points. And they say, okay, this ayah was not revealed in Mecca, it was revealed in Medina. Even the surah is Mecca, but this ayah, or these 2-3 ayah, is Madani. So why? And how it was possible to, because it was Rasulullah who decided where is the place of this ayah. So when Jibreel brings 2, 3, 4, 5 ayah to Rasulullah, after receiving the revelation, Rasulullah talks to Sahaba or Kutab, Katibin, the writers of the Wahy, that you put this ayah in that chapter. You put this ayah in that chapter. So this is Rasulullah who decide, because Allah wants us to do that, to decide to place the ayat in appropriate places. Yes.
Because of the Bismillah and Surah Al-Tawbah, when people want to recite the few ayat primers, do we say Bismillah beforehand?
It is better to say A'udhu Billah Minash Shaitanir Rajim. It is not haram. It is not prohibited. But because Allah doesn't send Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim at the very beginning of this surah, So we don't want to add something from ourselves. Just we say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم براءة من الله ورسوله. So we can read the surah. Yes?
How much time is the Prophet specifically once he put each ayah in a specific story? Did he tell us that it was Mecca or Medina, or later on the scholars came and did this like classification?
It was, at that time, it was not big issue.